Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and Brian from Tolarian Community College tweeted out something pretty much stating that he's not happy with MTG Arena. Oh, poor Brian. I mean, some people have real problems, but he has this. Wizards hard at work taking an amazing game engine. Okay, let me stop you right there. That's very debatable. Let's see, they're taking an amazing game engine and tanking it. That's my phrase. How dare you? I say tanking it every other video. Anyway, they're tanking it purely with bad decision making. Well, that's your opinion. Psst. With, of course, an incorrect capitalization on the second P. You would never do that. Your product is a TCG, trading card game. That's what the T stands for. Your customers need the ability to trade the damn cards. Okay, let's undercut that entire statement with the fact that they're not calling it a TCG. They are not calling Arena a TCG. They are going out of their way to not call it a trading card game. I guess he didn't notice. I guess somebody told him they're making MTGO 2.0, or he came up with that in his own head. That is not what they're making. That's not what they were making when they made Puzzle Quest. That's not what anybody's making, actually. Oh god, I didn't even read the ending. It's the first word. Trading, and I'm 99% sure a semicolon should be there because you're like reiterating what the first statement made without making a separate statement. Bare minimum a comma. Bare minimum. Hashtag MTG Arena, in case honestly at this point, I wouldn't blame you, you thought he was talking about MTGO. In the end, Hearthstone may kill hashtag MTG, but only because those in charge destroyed their own product out of misguided jealousy and obsession. You know, if you didn't tell me Brian wrote that, I'd think that they were the rantings and ravings of a loony person. Or honestly, if you did tell me he wrote it, lean into what makes Magic great, hashtag make Magic great again. The F&M experience. Trading and collecting. Multiple formats. F&M usually sucks because a lot of LGSs are being taken over by try-hard spike douchebags. Trading and collecting, I mean, that's way too much of like a money and spending money connotation. Multiple formats, though, I'll give you that. And Magic is doing absolutely nothing to, promote giant leaders. Probably because I invented it. Well, we got Commander, which they had to rename for legal reasons. And it was basically just, let's cash in on this. It's a thing, cool, let's make money. And Pauper, Brian just won't shut up about, so they pretty much had to. I like it because it's cheap, but I still really think that considering who his sponsors are, let's just say you get about 90 to 110 bucks out of the Mythics, Commons, and Foils from a given box of Standard, and then there's another $90 in 25-cent Commons. So if you start moving them, you're way into the profit margin. So draw your own conclusions from that. So then, of course, he says embrace what kept MTG here for 25 years, which I legitimately do not know what that is. Certainly not decisions by Wizards. Flip cards, the release of Darksteel, Homelands, and from what I've heard about 2 or 3 other things, almost killed the game permanently. So clearly it's not Wizards of the Coast that's been keeping MTG here for 25 years. Pretty much just the customers, which I don't really see the tie-in to that in Arena. Arena's going to have customers. I don't see where he's going with this. But as a whole, I see where he's going with this because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, the F&M experience, people are going to play Magic online because they either don't want or can't go to the F&M experience. It is the polar opposite. It is Magic without the social aspect. Some people want that. Trading and collecting, play paper then. Oh, or the alternative to Arena called MTGO. Like, it's not going anywhere. Nobody's replacing MTGO. That is a myth. But what it sounds like is Brian wants them to replace MTGO. He wants Arena to be the new MTGO. Just MTGO with everything fixed, but otherwise, everything the same. Multiple formats, they literally said Arena is standard. Period. Standard only. No Commander. I mean, yes, there's draft, I guess. There might even be like pseudo-sealed or sealed tournaments. But other than that, it's standard. Nothing else. No Pauper, no Modern, no Commander, no Legacy, no Vintage, no made-up formats, nothing. It's like he's not even talking about the correct product anymore. Arena is not supposed to be a replacement for MTGO. Here is why, okay? Here's why this entire rant is ridiculous. Actually, let's do things Brian's way, okay? We make MTGO 2.0, okay? Everything's the same except it's Arena skin. So there's like sparks and sound effects and crap flying across the screen and flames and all that. But other than that, it's MTG. Okay, cards have values. They're tradable. You can play Modern, everything. It's exactly what apparently Brian wants. What would be wrong with that? Oh my gosh. Where do I even start? So was the MTGO community as a whole saying, I just want the damn game to work and I'm tired of buying my deck twice, so I want lower prices? Or were they saying, I need animations, give me some of those sound effects. I have the attention span and maturity level of a 10-year-old and I need stuff flashing and popping up and running across the screen, or I'm just not interested. So nobody was asking for Arena to be MTGO 2.0. So for starters, there's that. Okay, with all the ways to earn cards and get cards for free and open boosters compared to MTGO, where from day one you have to buy the boosters, I think it's safe to say that Arena would be cheaper to play. And also better looking, and also newer. Why would anybody play MTGO? Like, if they did that, it would kill MTGO. Need I remind you, MTGO makes, last I heard, 60% of all of the Magic the Gathering branch money. The whole product. It's more than half. That includes all of Paper Magic, all licensing, and basically everything else. So they should kill off MTGO with a superior competitor that's identical in every way except cheaper to play. That'd be a fantastic business decision, Brian. Good job. I'm going to take a wild guess he is not a professor of economics. That or business management. I actually have no idea what he's a professor in. Clearly not English based on those tweets. I'm going to say either music because he kind of looks like Beethoven, or cooking because he kind of looks like the guy in the Quaker Oat box, which actually is William Penn, founder of Pennsylvania. Fun fact of the day for you there. The more you know, the more you grow. And also, the more you know, the more you don't post stupid crap like this on Twitter. Okay, let's go to the Brian's perfect world here, where Arena is literally MTGO with animations. You turn on card trading. Cool. You go to MTG Goldfish, and now you have a paper price for a card. You have the MTGO price for the card, and then you've got the Arena price for the card, because of course there would be an effective price. I mean, yeah, if it's all trades and bots and this and that and effective whatever, it still has a price. Why does a card need 3 prices on 3 different platforms? That's confusing and stupid. So then you get a new player who's new to Magic. They play Paper and they're like, oh, there's an online version? Cool. And then people are like, yeah, there's MTGO and Arena. Oh, what's the difference? One has less good players. It's more like designed for kids, honestly, with all the animations and crap. And it's cheaper to play. Oh, okay, why would I play MTGO? If you like burning money and feeling like an elitist, if you want to be a pro wannabe and play on the cold, boring professional version instead of the kiddie version, well, then get out your wallet and pay 10 times more. Also, it barely works. It freezes up all the time and whatever else people are complaining about on MTGO. Wow, awesome. I'm going to go install Arena. At the end of the day, if you add trading to Arena, you just built the same product twice. 3 times, arguably. There's no need for that. It wouldn't make sense. So let's talk about what they did build. They were looking at what type of video game, what type of actual software product makes money. And they looked at mostly, the mobile freemium market, where people are like, oh, cool, free. And then they end up spending like $100 on it because people are incredibly stupid. And it all comes down to, very clever mental manipulation, psychological tricks, no surprise here. I mean, you go to the grocery store and what color the box is and what shelf it's on is psychological manipulation. So this ain't exactly new. But you get two things in the freemium software market, mostly mobile, also on PC. Doesn't really matter what the platform is. One, okay, you want to play the game some more, or you want to progress further, but, this timer's got like an 8-hour countdown, and yeah, like your building, your armor, your quest, whatever, will be done by tomorrow if you want to wait, but, I mean, if you really wanted to progress through the game, I mean, you can buy some premium currency, and this will only cost you like an effective equivalent of like 10 cents to speed up this timer. I mean, you could just skip this entire dungeon if you use an auto skip thingy that costs, 50 cents. You're like, 50 cents. I spent $1 at the gas station. So it's the whole, the shortcutting, and literally they mentioned this in their Arena press release. And then the other one is the whole ego thing and the player versus player and the taking advantage of highly competitive people, of which I'm one, but I'm smarter than this. Oh, you lost to this person because they have better weapons, equipment, armor, base, vehicle, whatever. Doesn't matter what game it is. They're better than you. And you know for a fact that you'd be better than them if you spent a little bit of money to bypass the whole, oh, I'm going to progressively get better stuff. You want to, leapfrog it and go ahead, then give us money. And it sounds like it's going to be more the second part for Arena, but they just adopted that. They're like, what makes money? Okay, cool. Like, we already have MTGO, we already have Paper. We get that. You buy some singles or you open some packs, and we know how that works. The packs are the whole gambling thing. Ooh, it's a rush. What'll I pull? Ooh, cool, I pulled a masterpiece. Woo. And then the singles market is I need to build a deck and I'm going to build it exactly the way I want. And half the time for most of the players, it's one that they copied off the internet, unfortunately. So they know how that market works. Why build a third one of those? That makes absolutely no sense. They're like, what other business models are out there that are succeeding and getting people to get out their wallet? People are definitely at their limit for Paper Magic and MTGO, especially when they upped the number of, master sets and this and that and this draft set and that unset. And it's ridiculous lately. So they're at the max there. They cannot add a third platform and say, here, play this too. And plus, like I said, it's going to be cheaper than MTGO, and people would just switch. So they'd actually end up costing themselves money on something that costs a ton of money to make. That would be idiotic. So no, there is no business reason to build what Brian apparently wants them to build. I mean, he's just like off in his own little world on this one. It's such a bad idea to add trading to Arena. That is not what they're going for. So let me tell you what they're going for. All right, they want a platform where the whole hook is you can play for free. Because what do you tell everybody when you teach them how to play Magic? You're like, I could give you a free deck. You could run one of my decks. You could borrow it. You could share it. I'll give you some free lands, free sleeves, old deck box, whatever you need. I could give you some dice, hook you up. But Magic is kind of expensive, just so you know. FYI. It's just like Warhammer. When people are like, what's the number one thing I need to know about Warhammer before I join? And people are like, money. I mean, we want to present Magic in a good light so that people want to learn because we want our friends to play it so we got more people to play with and whatever. But we also don't work for Wizards, and we live in the real world. And of course, the dumbass net deckers are the ones who are like, oh, Magic's really expensive. Just FYI, it's really, really expensive. It's getting more and more expensive. It's terrible. And then I'm out there like, you can build a deck for $18 and beat the crap out of this idiot who dropped $400 on his deck and then probably win $30 in prizes. Yeah, who's the smart player now? Stupid net deckers, seriously, they'll never learn. I mean, which one do you feel a bigger sense of accomplishment over? Copying somebody else's work, bringing it to F&M, paying way the hell too much for it, and then winning like 3 packs worth like $12, and then, ooh, look at my sense of accomplishment, great, the deck was supposed to win. Or, I built this myself, it cost $20, and I beat your $400 tournament winning deck with it because I'm better at reading the local meta than you are. Or in the case of my old LGS, I didn't make 10 play errors in that game. Seriously, guys, when I say pro wannabe, I mean wannabe. They are not at pro level of play. The level of mistakes from those people who thought they were real hot crap at my old LGS was comical. I mean, they'd be like, you got all the lucky draws. I'm like, you forgot to tap this during my head step. Anyway, that's a different video. So what's their brand new business strategy? It's the very tried and true, this is free. You can play for free. And once you've joined for free, now we've got you in our psychological trap, and some of you are going to fall for it. And I mean, I'm making it sound evil. I'm making it sound like every mobile game ever has been crap. I mean, I know somewhere if you give them $9.99, you're basically set for life in the game, and that's all they wanted in the first place. It's practically like a free trial / shareware. Sometimes it's literally like, for like a tower defense game, it's like, oh, you finished the entire first map. It took you 10 hours. Cool. You played the game completely for free. No skipping, no nothing. You earned it. You're good at the game. But if you want to run the premium tracks, just give us like $5. And $5 unlocks the entire rest of the game. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's perfectly legit, not shady at all. And then there's the people who play Pokemon Go and they're like, honestly, I don't really need any more premium items. I don't really need like this or that. I have enough of these for free from the event or whatever. But I just want to support the developers because I've been playing this game for like 6 months. I played for like 2 hours a day. I lost weight on it and I haven't given them a penny. I'm basically a freeloader at this point. Servers aren't free. I'm just going to give them $10. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're not a non-profit, but they're also, gonna shut down if you don't give them money. It's kind of like Patreon. I mean, like, I'm not like, oh, everybody owes me money for YouTube. You should all be paying and the rest of you are freeloaders. No, YouTube is free. That's what it is. I mean, you're watching the ads, so there's that. But, some people are like, nah, I just want to give Des like $2 on Patreon because, like, Des is awesome. I don't disagree with you there. And, this microphone ain't free. You know what I mean? I was going to say neither is the software, but actually Audacity is free. But Premiere Elements isn't. That was like $80. Oh, and this computer wasn't free. Let me throw that one out there. So not all freemium games are bad, but also on the flip side, I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, those poor developers at Wizards. Wizards doesn't make enough money. They don't get enough money from me. Are you kidding me? But once you're in the game, a certain amount of people are going to be like, yeah, you know what? I made a lot of money. I got a bonus. I worked overtime. I've got $20, whatever, just to build the deck I want and play with it for another 8 months in the game or something. Why not? I'll, whatever. It almost seems dickish to be like, no, they are not getting one single penny from me. I mean, it's Wizards, so like I get it if that's your feelings. But anyway, back onto the actual intent. You got your whales, which are going to spend way the hell too much. I mean, obviously it's basically net deckers where their entire, ego and how they feel about themselves, their self-worth and everything is built up exclusively on winning at a card game because they've got nothing else going for them. They're probably a terrible person with no friends. So if their whole life revolves around winning at F&M, so they have to bring the top deck and they have to win and they have to cheat to win if they start losing, that type of personality is going to dump $500 into Arena, and you know it just as well as I do. So people with mental defects, will say, like personality flaws, maybe would be a more softer way to put it. Just really weak people will dump way the hell too much money into the game, and then when they're ranked top on the leaderboard, that's their Super Bowl. Whatever. If you're a shallow, pathetic person like that, then whatever. And then there's the people that'll just dump in $5-10 a month because they're like, honestly, I play this for 50 hours a month. Like, you know what it costs to go to a theater for 2 hours? It comes out of the entertainment budget, and they're fine with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with people spending money on a freemium game. They're not all falling for it or trying to skip something. It's just like going to the casino. If you're like, oh, you want to go fishing? You know, rent a boat and do this, buy some bait and tackle and this, buy some hooks, buy some lures, and the money's spent. Or you want to take that, $50, $70, $100 and go to the casino because maybe we'll get some of it back. If it's coming out of your entertainment budget, it's not more than you can spend, go to the casino. Or do what I do and just play exclusively with their free credits and take advantage of just mathematical flaws in their benefit system. Considering I made about $2,200 doing that in 2017, it kind of works. So anyway, people who use their money responsibly, which I literally walk into the casino without my own money, just my ID, the card, that's it, wallet's in the car, straight up. But, I mean, even once in a great while, I'll walk in with like $50, my friends will bring like $50, we'll just have a blast and just stay there as long as possible. It's not about making money, it's about having fun, So same goes for a freemium game. I mean, it's like, if you're like, I'm perfectly okay spending this much on gaming per month, and I'll just do this instead of buying a game on Steam. Nothing wrong with that. So they're taking advantage of people that are willing to do that, the crazy whales who need psychological help, and they know that a certain amount of people are going to just hardline play for free. They are not moving on that stance, or they're 12 and don't have a credit card. So for that, they'll just call it the lost leader, the intro, the attractor. I don't know. I'm not into marketing, but they see a free game on Steam, which it'll almost definitely be on Steam. Duels was. And then they'll be like, oh, cool, I can play that for free. And then they play it for like a year, they get really good at it, and they're like, oh, there's actually a store in my area that does this paper, and then I could go win like really cool actual prizes. So even if somebody spends absolutely nothing, they might graduate to Paper Magic or MTGO, I suppose, if they wanted to play other formats. They just think about that. They could live nowhere near a local gaming store. They have nowhere to play, no WPN locations at all. None of their friends are into it, which is why they're on Arena. And then they heard, oh, you know what? There's something outside of Standard. There's other formats. There's Pauper, Vantage, Legacy, Cubes, which I don't know if MTGO does Cubes. But, Commander and like all this other stuff, and people are like, oh, that sounds awesome. Where do I play that? Cool. Boom. They switch to MTGO, or play both, obviously. They wouldn't really switch. And now they're spending money. So it's the gateway. It's the one that you let people have for free. But also some people are going to spend money on it at different rates. So that is what they're building, is that product, that income structure. And, with garbage like Game of War and these other, I know there's a lot of like Japanese and Korean games where they're just straight up manipulative pay-to-win trash. It's the ones you always see advertised, like that one that had Super Bowl ad. Those games are evil, but just don't think of freemium as evil or manipulative from the get-go. I mean, it is what it is. It's a business model, and at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own playstyles, your own purchase decisions, and whatever else. So to say, oh, Arena's just another cash grab, but they're making it so people gotta, build decks the hard way. Yeah, to an extent. I mean, the closest you can compare this to is Puzzle Quest, okay? Yes, the mechanics work differently, the decks worked a little bit differently, but you still opened boosters, you still got, rares, commons, mythics, whatever the other one is, uncommons. And the whole thing about Puzzle Quest is if you wanted to get, like, enough of every card, I don't remember if you actually needed 4 or not. I don't remember what the limit was, actually. I thought it was actually just 1. Like, you need 1 copy of the card per deck. Might be wrong, though. Okay, full disclosure, they did sponsor my channel in the past, but also I played Puzzle Quest before they sponsored me, and I absolutely loved it. So I thought it was a fantastic game, very fun, very fair, and everybody's on the same page with you're not going to have a perfect deck. Okay, you go to PvP, or you do an event or a challenge, the whole thing is you are not going to have God's gift to a deck, okay? You play with what you open, and the game is highly successful and people have fun with it. So it's just like Sealed. People play Sealed. People play Draft. Sometimes playing with a less than ideal subpar deck is fun too, because otherwise it's just a constructed net decking mirror matchathon. I mean, people get sick of it. Even the net deckers get sick of it. Oh, everybody's playing goblins. Everybody's playing energy. This is so boring. It's just the same deck over and over and over. As if you aren't part of the problem. Oh, I'm sorry. Does nobody get to bring teamer energy but you? You want to get easy wins? Build what wins in your local meta and then earn it. You know, with actual skill. But anyway, people will come up with all kinds of crazy low-level, low-power stuff when they're limited in what they can do. And it sounds to me, from what I've heard from other people, and this is public, this is not NDA crap, whatever, from their public Q&As and their public showing off the game in their public streams, they are going to have tiers. I think they said there's going to be 3 tiers. So it's the junior class where clearly people did not spend money on the game, then the intermediary, and then the high. I think that's how it's going to go. And of course, everything's subject to change anyway, so who cares? So if everybody in the low tier is, you know, kind of in like a wink nod agreement that we're all not going to be pay to win douchebags, then you play it, you just use it for what it is. You play the game. It is what it is. Everybody's on the same page. It's a level battlefield, and then you come up with decks that nobody's seen before because you were forced to, because this is your card pool. Here, build something. And that requires skill. And it's like putting a puzzle together. It's what Magic originally was. I mean, just look at all the different statements from the staff where they've kind of danced around the issue. What they mean to say, if I were to paraphrase it, is net deckers and net decking are ruining the game. It's completely ruining the game. Back in the day, Magic used to be different before the internet, you know, all these little subtle comments that they're making, and some of them not so subtle, and they got yelled at for it, I heard. They were describing old Magic as it was very different. People would open packs, get an idea, trade with each other, buy some singles from their local store, and then they would build something out of it. They'd be like, I like this tribe. I like this. This looks powerful. This looks good. Let's try this. And then they would improve their deck day after day after day. And there was a lot of skill in deck building, a lot of skill in identifying weaknesses, identifying what other people are playing and what you can do about it, building a proper sideboard. And the game was much more complex. Right now it's look online, download tournament deck, win F&M. Boring. I'd rather have the other 2/3 of the game, please. The whole build your own deck idea and then improve your deck and adapt your deck. That's missing from Magic right now. And the staff has been very clear that they're not happy with that. They're not allowed to call out their number one customer base, which is net deckers who spend a ton on the game. But they don't like them. A bunch of people who currently or formerly worked at Wizards made statements to the effect of they wish it was back the way it was before. They wish Magic was being played the way it was intended originally, and, oh look, here's Arena. So it solves 2 problems. It solves the whole why the hell build the same product a 3rd time? Why expect people to buy a deck on 3 platforms? That's a problem. How do you get around it? Adopt somebody else's business model. Go to the mobile games network. And I actually don't think Arena is going to be mobile. It might be. I don't remember what they said. But even so, it basically is a mobile game. Anything freemium is a mobile game. So they adopted that business model, and the side effect is people get to play low-powered, fun Magic. What the hell's wrong with that? Why? What logical reason would they have to add trading to it and just ruin everything? Because adding trading to it would ruin everything for like 5 different reasons that I just said in this video. Now, the only counterpoint is, you know, people are just going to spam open boosters until they get all the cards they want, and they're going to build exactly what just won the Pro Tour, and they're still going to be net decking, but it sounds like they're going to isolate those people and make them only play against each other. They're in their own little tier. And in my opinion, they can stay there because I'm sick of playing against them. So separating them from me, wonderful idea. And now the other thing I gotta say is, I want this one mythic. Okay, paper. What's the paper version I want this one mythic? It's either like a $1 mythic, nobody cares, cool. It's practically bulk, you can trade anybody for it. Or, you basically can't build this deck because that mythic is $30 and you need 4 of them. Well, let's go to Arena. I need a mythic. Cool, get a wild card and choose it. Doesn't matter what its price is in the real world, they're all dead even. There are no mythics that are out of your reach in MTG Arena. They are all exactly equal. Equal chance of being pulled and equal chance of you getting a wild card and selecting that card like purposely. No matter what your budget, no cards are just way too far out of your reach. Like the Flip Jace, $80 a card. Are you kidding me? Anything from Dragons of Tarkir at all, any deck that's literally not mono, automatically add like $140 to the damn price of the deck? No thanks. In Arena, there is no pricing people out of Magic. No card shortages, no trade economy, no shortages because of net deckers, nothing. It's just pure Magic the way it was 20 years ago. So what the hell exactly is your problem with that, Brian? Because that sounds wonderful to me. And I know some of you are already losing your mind saying, oh my god, Brian's taking shots at Wizards while Desolator's defending their product. This isn't teams here. We're not at war. I mean, I have literally said word for word that we're at war with Wizards, but that's like a different thing. That's like social. That's business. That's personal. It's literally personal and I'm attacking their business. I know that made no sense. But I tell the truth. When Wizards does something stupid, I tear them apart for it. When they do something smart, I report on it and I'm like, good for them. That's it. I report on reality. I report on facts. I report on things they have done. I react to them. I give opinions on it. This is not, oh, Fox News refuses to say something good about a Democrat, or MSNBC, oh, Trump finally balanced the budget, but we can't really praise him for that, even though 99% of Americans want a balanced budget and to reduce the deficit. Oh, but Trump did it, so we're not going to cover it because it's us versus them, and they can do nothing right. They're the enemy. They're always wrong. No, I assess every product, every decision, everything that Wizards does on a case-by-case basis. And in this case, Brian, you're wrong. I'm right. Wizards is right. That's all there is to it. So if you want to piss him off, send this video to him. I'm sure that won't backfire. And I'll see you guys next product release, I guess. Is Cryptic done with theirs yet?